I think one of the most extraordinary and insightful moments in the Gospels is tucked away at the beginning of John chapter 13. The context is the Last Supper in the upper room in Jerusalem. John gives us a little prologue, a little introduction to the meal, and it's one of those moments that if you blink, you'll miss it. What happens is John actually gives us some insight into the inner world of Jesus, the inner psyche, his psychological place and awareness in the moment. It's fascinating. So what happens is in John 13 verse 3, we're told that Jesus knew that all things had been given to him by the Father, that all things were in his hands. He also knew that he was from God, from the Father, and that he was returning back to God. So in this one verse, we're told that Jesus realizes whatever his self-awareness had been up until that point, he realizes fully and comprehensively, without any resistance or any hesitation, that he is the Logos, the second person of the Trinity, God, the eternally begotten Son. The identity of Jesus all the way through the Gospels has been this sort of mystery theme, this undercurrent. The crowds are asking, who is he? The Pharisees are asking, who does he think he is? The disciples are asking, who are you? Jesus even asks the disciples, who do you think I am? Who do the crowd think I am? So the identity and the status of Jesus is this ongoing theme throughout the Gospels. And yet here we have this moment at the beginning of John chapter 13 that tells us comprehensively that Jesus fully knows, he has inner full disclosure of his own identity, his own status, who he truly is. Whatever it had been up until that point, we now know that Jesus is absolutely clear on who he is, and he knows that the path he's about to walk is going to take him to the cross. Now, if that's not amazing enough, what comes next is just as brilliant. With that knowledge, in the next breath, John tells us what he does in response to this knowledge. What does Jesus do, knowing that every atom in the cosmos is his, that he is the eternal Son of God from the Father back to the Father? What does he do with that knowledge? Well, John 13 verse 4 tells us what he does. We're told that he takes off his outer garment and he fills up a bowl with water and he gets down on his knees and he starts to wash the grubby feet of his friends who will soon desert him or deny him, even betray him. And here we have this incredible, again, counterintuitive moment in the gospel. As I was mentioning last week, sometimes we get so familiar with the story that the sort of stunning nature of what's truly going on escapes us. But here we have Jesus fully realizing that everything is in his hands, that the full status of God the Son is truly embedded within the flesh of Jesus of Nazareth. And with that knowledge, he gets down on his knees and he washes the feet of his friends. His natural human instinct would probably say, well, if I belong in the corridors of power, that's where I want to be. If I belong in the highest seat, that's where I want to sit. That's natural human nature, fallen human nature. But we're given a revelation here of divine nature. That the humanity of Jesus in its divinity then takes off the robe. And the posture of divine nature in John 13 is to serve his friends and wash their feet. It's brilliant. It's so good. And Lent gives us the moment to absorb this, ponder it, and respond to it in some way. Say, God, help me believe this and help me believe it more. Help me understand this and help me understand it more, to respond in a way that is right and good. With all the blessings and benefits that we receive, how do we then serve the other? How do we care for those who maybe find it hard to care for themselves? How do we reach a little bit further than we have been? So in these moments of Lent, may you lengthen your spiritual stride and receive and absorb these beautiful truths and allow them to bring you peace.